Morning guys, it's still week 1 here and you lucky guys, lucky folks, are in for a treat. 3 videos, 1 week. Seeing as though it's still week 1, I figured it would be a good idea to continue on the theme of explaining my programming and why it's my dynamic day. I'm going to be doing stuff a little bit differently this time. In my opinion, the dynamic days are actually the most important days in the week, mostly because it's the day where you get to practice your form, technique, and also it's the day where you have the most volume in your training. So yeah, important. Obviously all your days are important, but when it comes to the main lifts in powerlifting, dynamic days are probably up there with being the best. As I said earlier on though, today is dynamic day, and this cycle I'm going to be treating it a lot differently to how I did it last time. If you've been following my training and watched some of my older videos, you'll notice that last dynamic days, on those days, I was doing lots of sets and not many reps. So I was doing like 10 sets of 2, 10 sets of 1, and that was mostly my main work for the day. That is a good way to train, obviously, because you're always training for a max single if you're powerlifting, but I want to get away from it this time and try and incorporate a little bit more volume and less sets. The main reason I'm doing it this cycle is because one, those types of training, those days kind of take ages to actually get through for me. And secondly, this cycle I want to be working a little bit more on volume and strengthening the muscles I need in my main lifts. So this cycle, instead of doing the usual 10 sets of 1, 10 sets of 2, I'm going to be increasing the volume of reps and decreasing the volume of sets. So instead of 10 sets of 1, 10 sets of 2, I'm going to be now doing kind of a variation, or at least something along the lines of 6 sets of 4, 5 sets of 5, or 4 sets of 6. In case that wasn't explained properly, I'm going to be using those rep ranges as my wave. So instead of increasing the weight each week and then dropping back down every 4th week, I'm going to be increasing the amount of reps. So I'm going to start off with 4 reps, then 5 reps, then 6 reps, and then go back down to 4 again on the 4th week. But unlike last time where the weight increases each week, I'm going to be just keeping the same weight for all 3 weeks and maybe increasing it on the 4th week. See how it goes. Previously on my dynamic days, I've been increasing weight in some kind of wave. So on week 1 I was starting with 70%, then on week 2 it was 75%, and week 3 it was 80%, which is my final week. So on week 4 I started the wave all over again and went back down to 70. Obviously it's a wave, ups and down, ups and down. But this cycle I'll be keeping the weight pretty much the same the whole way through. Instead it's the rep ranges which will create that wave pattern throughout the cycle. So this cycle, obviously, I'm going to be doing just 75% I think, maybe 75% for the first 3 weeks, and then increase weight if it feels too easy, maybe. Although honestly that may not happen because it's a dynamic day and it's not supposed to be a second max effort day, so I should really, if I'm doing this properly, keep the weight light and just work on form, technique and volume instead of making it difficult for myself. Anyway, that pretty much explains the basics of what I'm going to be doing for my dynamic days. So if you have any questions or queries or anything about my programming over the next few weeks, please drop me a comment below and I'll happily answer it. I'll probably get into more detail in a real video at some point in the future. Right, I'm gonna shut up now though, because I am in somewhat of a rush though, because I'm in work at 4 o'clock, the time now is about 12, so that gives me a couple of hours to get a gym session in, go home, have food, get changed and go back to work. So yeah, it's a busy week. As I said earlier in the week though, this week is a busy week because the kids are on holiday off school, which means I'm working extra days in work than I usually would because it's busy. So that means that I can only go to the gym 3-4 times this week or so I can't get all my sessions in on separate days. So today's dynamic day is basically going to be squats, bench, and hopefully some deadlifts if I have time. Speaking of deadlifts though, I'm going to be doing them slightly differently to last time. They're the only exercise I'm going to be doing where it is 10 sets of 1 still. However, instead of my usual conventional deadlifts, I'm going to be doing, this time for the first time ever, running an actual cycle with sumos. I'm going to be doing this because, you're loud, but I'm going to be doing this because one, I think my leverages might actually be better for this, so it's worth trying out, and two, even if not, it's going to be working muscles that I don't usually work in my conventional stance. Anyway, I'm almost at the gym now. That gives me about an hour, hour and a half, maybe an hour 40 max for my session, which gives me, what, half an hour for each exercise. Hopefully I can fit it all in and hopefully it's a good session. Gonna rush and see you guys inside. Well, that was definitely an experience. Squats were difficult, bench, that was actually alright, but oh my god, I really need to work on my sumo form because I really suck at sumo at the moment. All in all, it was actually a pretty decent session, to be honest. If I didn't have to do 2 sessions in one, it would have probably been even better. But yeah, these exercises probably actually going to help me in the long run because now it's more volume. It teaches me to actually get tight and actually kind of do a little bit of cardio because I'm doing volume throughout my sets. Anyway, it's just after 2 o'clock. I'm in work at 4, so I need to go home, have a bath, get changed, probably have some food, and then obviously come back to work. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you have any questions about my dynamic days or the conjugate system method just in general, please leave me a comment below and I'll get around to answering it or making a video on it and hopefully help you guys out. Anyway, I've got to go because obviously rush because of work. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want, and I'll see you all next time. Peace! Cause aside from my soul,